Hey everybody, welcome to the Sky Lounge, and this is Cruise Peruse, episode number 85. Boys and girls, lots of stuff happened over the weekend, lots of things to unravel. Let's get this out of the way. Boys and girls, USA all the way, because the U.S. women's national team has won their back-to-back World Cup, fourth World Cup overall, after beating the Netherlands 2-0 in the World Cup final. Congratulations to the U.S. women's national team. What a splendid job you've done, especially under all the media scrutiny and pressure, to deliver it at the biggest stage. I'll be one of the few people that'll say I never doubted you guys. I never doubted you ladies. And I'm really glad defending this team and their antics paid off, because we forget that Megan Rapinoe's comments may have been taken up the ass by everybody, and she's not going to the fucking White House. And listen, here's my whole thing. The conundrum I always face when I'm talking about politics and sports at the same time. Keep politics out of my fucking sports, right? And I mean that in both ways. I mean that in terms of left and right. I don't want to hear both of your fucking agendas. Just let me enjoy the sport, all right? Because to me, at the end of the day, you know what sports is? Sports is the epitome of physical mastery and domination over individuals in a very challenging, hardcore competition, right? And that goes for any sports. And I know that's a weird generalizing way to say it, but sports really is the physical embodiment of meritocracy. And we get to really do enjoy excellence in each, discipline of sports. And for the U.S. women, they're dominant. They are perhaps one of the most dominant teams in football. I mean, listen, 12 years, 3 finals in a row, 3 World Cup finals in a row for 12 years. And you can bitch about how the competition wasn't all that strong back then, blah-de-blah-de-blah, fucking blah. But I hear you complaining, and I hear from mostly nations who haven't won shit. So, kind of left to sit here thinking, like, really? What are you gonna fucking complain about? And so Sunday, you started the morning off with the World Cup final, which was fantastic. I had such a great time watching it. My heart raced throughout the entirety of the match. But it was Megan Rapinoe who was really in the eye of the storm amongst the players in terms of media scrutiny and media hypocrisy, really. She was able to get a penalty. And then a couple minutes later, Rose Lavelle really cemented herself as the next superstar for the U.S. women's national team. I really do believe Rose Lavelle did make herself the next superstar with that goal in a World Cup final. Listen, if you can score a fucking worldie at a World Cup final, you know goddamn well you're a goddamn superstar. You are destined for great shit. And I hope the best for Rose Lavelle, because that goal yesterday, the way she carried the ball by herself, and the ball passes 2 defenders and the goalkeeper. Wonderful stuff by Lavelle. And Rapinoe wins the golden ball and the golden boot, which is given to both the best player. Well, the golden ball is given to the best player of the tournament. The golden boot is given to the highest goal scorer. Although Rapinoe was tied with Alex Morgan, you have to realize that Alex Morgan scored 5 goals. Out of the 6 goals, she scored 5 in one match against Thailand, and one goal in one match against England. So I completely understand why they reward Rapinoe, because she has scored in almost every match except the one she was injured and not subbed in for, which was the England match. She scored in every match in the knockout stages. So you have to give her credit where credit is due. Filipino was absolutely fantastic. She was the oldest goal scorer in World Cup history at 34 years old. So it was a fantastic day for the U.S. Women's National Team and for the USA. You could see fans around, the Twitterverse, everywhere else going crazy. I mean, I myself included, man. I was wilding out, was having a good time. Made a video on Instagram, and I'm gonna just rant about this for a quick second. I got copyright blocked by Instagram. Made this little parody fucking video thing. Lavelle shooting the goal, and I play Kiss from a Rose. Like, I've done this before where I posted a fucking story thing as a post. Never gotten copyright blocked before, ever, until now. So I'm like, really? Like, is Seal that much of a petulant cunt that you can't fucking let a post like that you can't let it be, you fuck? Jesus Christ. So it gets deleted. My account is blocked for like 3 days. I'm not even lying about that shit. My account is blocked for 3 fucking days because some fucking petty ass cunt in the copyright department decides to fucking block that shit out. But that's besides the point. The US winning yesterday was awesome. It was a good way to start the day because for the rest of the day I was gonna be treated to some bullshit, right? Took a bit of a nap. But other cup finals were going on. The Copa America Cup final. I said cup twice, once in English, once in Spanish. I know that's a redundancy error on my part, boys and girls, but fuck you. Also, the Gold Cup. All right, so the Copa America is for the South American, teams, and also Qatar and Japan for whatever reason this year. And you also have the Gold Cup, which is all the North American countries, and also Central America, whatever you want to call that too. Brazil beats Peru 3-1 in Brazil. So, not really surprised at that. I kind of hoped Peru would win, but unfortunate for them. Congrats to Brazil. Good job. You finally won with the squad the first time in years. Okay. Great. With all that talent, you finally won something, Brazil. Great. That's nice. And as for the Gold Cup, every time I see the U.S. men's national team win, or, not even win, winning is a rare thing for the U.S. men's national team. What does end up happening with the U.S. men's national team is just a lot of embarrassment, a lot of losses, and lots of, post matches where I'm just accepting the fact that we're never going to be good. We're never going to be good, okay? U.S. fans, and to those of you cunts who can't stand the women for whatever reason, and I know certain people who wouldn't like them because they talk bad about the president. Like, all right, dude. All right. You get soaked in your politics while I focus on the sport. So while we're focusing on the sport, men's national team fans, U.S. team fans, what fucking hope do we have when the men play like that? Seriously. I see the U.S. women's national team play football, and I'm inspired. I watch them and think, wow, this is what domination is. This is what great talent gives you. And in my weird fantasy of a thought, I'm already thinking in my head, like, man, if I had a kid, I want a daughter. So she plays like that, with her fucking heart out, pride for the fucking badge, pride for the nation, and going at it. But I see the men's team, and I think the opposite. I'm like, oh God, I don't want to subject my child to that. That seems terrible. It's like a torture porn. Because the U.S. men's national team, they were given chances after chances after chances, and miss after miss after miss, and they lose 1-0 to Mexico. Because 3-4 defenders can't stop Giovanni Dos Santos. Like, they can't. For whatever fucking reason, Dos Santos just plays through. He just chips that fucking ball from outside the box, and I just thought, this is it. Like, there's no way we're coming back. And I was right. They just couldn't come back. The goal was scored a little too late, 80th plus minute, and the U.S. had no solution. just like every major fucking tournament the U.S. men's national team participates in. And it's what I said about the Gold Cup initially a couple weeks back when it started. I said, listen, the reality of the Gold Cup for the U.S. men's national team was you either win or it's a bust. That's what I said from the beginning, and I do hold it to that. I still hold the U.S. to that standard now. This was a do or die fucking cup for us. This was a fucking cup to make a statement and say, hey, we're back, guys. We're back from the ashes. We're still fighting. We faced a Mexico team that was heavy favorites from day one, but we somehow made it. And you know, that first half, I have to say the U.S. men's national team looked solid. I really did like what they were doing. But they completely fell apart after that goal. Completely fell apart. So congrats to Mexico. Hate saying that as a soccer fan. I hate saying that as a U.S. soccer fan. I really do. I don't want to see Mexico win. All right, and it's not a political thing. Please, guys, let me just be one of the few people who say this in, you know, whatever fucking universe I live in within, you know, YouTube here. Stop mixing fucking politics with sports. Stop it. Just give me sports, and if I'm bored and want my fucking balls tortured, you know, for hours, then give me politics. Fuck, stop mixing sports and politics, man. I fucking can't stand that shit. It's annoying as all hell. Just play the fucking game. Alright, I'm talking to the athletes. Like, play the fucking game. And after the game, do the politics after and before the game. I don't give a fuck about the politics. I really don't. Like, here's the thing. I'm not an idiot either. I understand that there are terrible social, economic, political issues around the world. I get it. I do. I'm not an ignorant motherfucker. I understand that there are terrible things going on in this world. There are some really terrible social statuses. Economically, like, not everyone's doing great. Politically, it's a fucking mess. I get all of that. But you know why we watch sports? To escape all of that shit. You know why sports is so great? Everybody, when you're in that stadium, no matter what you are, who you are, what skin color you are, who you love, what you love, doesn't matter. The sports is all that matters. If you're in a home crowd and you have a bunch of home audiences, home fans, and when they go up or they score, they get the upper advantage, fans celebrate. Doesn't matter who you are next to you, just high five celebrating. That's what it should be. But god damn it, sports has been so fucking poisoned with politics. It's kind of disgusting. And you know what? This is why when sports just focuses on sports, I'm very happy, right? And in the NBA, there's a lot of crazy stuff that happened. Like a couple of days ago, I covered on the Blips how Kawhi Leonard and Paul George were headed to the Los Angeles Clippers. Oof. Digesting here, boys and girls. Digesting the information that Kawhi and PG-13 are in Clipperland. And even as Lakers fan, I'll say this. Take this as a backhanded compliment, but take this as you will. Kudos to Jerry West. Kudos to Jerry West. The guy's a thug. All right, Jerry West is the NBA's biggest thug. He's been doing this since the fucking 80s. Like, this man has been doing this shit since the fucking 80s. All right? The man who has been stabbed multiple times by Bill Russell in every fucking NBA Finals. And he, as an executive, had been the fucking architect of some great teams. The early 2000 Lakers, the Golden State Warriors dynasty that we had for a couple of years, quote-unquote dynasty. And now, the Clippers dynamic duo. And they did, you know, the the Clippers did sign in Patrick Beverley, Lou Williams, all these cats to significant deals, and now you got Paul George and Kawhi Leonard. Looks to be a fantastic squad. Now, Clippers fans, I don't care however you fucking take this. I really need you to fucking hear me out on this shit, like right now. Why are you getting arrogant? Like, why are you getting fucking arrogant? You haven't won anything. Winning the free agency and off-season, it doesn't mean anything. It really doesn't. That's all I'm saying right now. I was excited last season when LeBron James came in. I'm not going to lie to you. I don't hide that shit. I was very adamant that we're going to change. But the reality is, like, you're at the mercy of the season and the basketball gods. Basketball Jones is holding your fate with your balls. And yeah, listen, you got Kawhi Leonard, you got Paul George. Great. What are you going to do with it? What are you going to do with it, though? Right? I've seen the Clippers hype themselves up so many times, and then they failed so many times as well. You have to understand, this is a fucking team that hasn't gone to a Western Conference final, let alone an NBA final. And I know Kawhi just broke the fucking record, right? And he broke the fucking curse with Toronto. But again, until you prove to me that you can do this, until you get there, prove it. That's all I'm saying. All right? Don't give me that fucking Lakers fan salt bullshit. All right? Let me break down my Lakers logic here for you guys. All right? As a Lakers fan, was I excited the potential that Kawhi Leonard would have come here? Yes, I was very excited. I'm not hiding that shit. It's all there. It's all there. Right? I would have loved Kawhi coming over. But at the same time, in the back of your head, you always have to keep that thought in mind that, you know, maybe Kawhi won't be here. Maybe he won't be. Right? That was just the reality of the situation, because there were three teams. The Clippers, the Lakers, and the Raptors. Right? Clearly, by, a week into his free agency watch, Kawhi wasn't going to Toronto Raptors. We all knew that. He wanted to be back in LA. And yeah, the reality was too, he could have picked the Clippers or the Lakers. But when you think about it, people are gonna talk about hindsight, all this shit, but really think about the context of what the Lakers have been the last year and a half, right? The last year and a half, the Lakers have lulled LeBron James, the LA billboard, into Los Angeles. We've had another sub-500 season. We had our president of basketball operation just quit like a fucking pussy, just quit out of fucking thin air and shoot fire at everybody in the organization, and thinks he had some sort of goodwill to talk to Kawhi Leonard during free agency. This is what I never got. Like, this was the leap in logic for everybody else that said, oh, the Lakers are going to land Magic, Magic is going to do this. I'm like, Magic is kind of a parasitic cancer as an executive. Like, you have to understand, like, what the fuck he just did. No matter how people try to cover his shit up, like Jeannie Buss, Rob Pelinka, no matter how much they want to cover this shit up, that dude's a fucking parasitic cancer in that organization. He really was. And for that guy to suggest that man would go to Kawhi and convince him that the Lakers organization was solid, were with no problem. No. Heading into free agency, it was a big fucking doo-doo of a problem. We had cap space barely, and players LeBron clearly didn't want to play with. Because he's also a cancer in that regard. And you mean to tell me that a team full of cancer, a team that was full of holes, somehow, we finessed ourselves into max free agency spot, a max free agency cap situation, and was in the race for Kawhi. That, to me, was more impressive of Rob Pelinka and the cats in the organization, of thinking, wow, you guys actually somehow, with nothing, finessed your way into a possibly good situation. That's the bottom line, boys and girls. And I know you fucking idiots out there are just going to say, oh, the Lakers fan are giving excuses. That's not an excuse. Like, really rewind the clock about a year and a half. Think about the context of everything that's happened with the Lakers organization up to now. I'm not all that upset. Really, as much as I hate the Clippers, and now I really fucking, I really hate the Clippers. You have to understand, I fucking hate the Clippers. They never belonged in LA. They're a fucking mediocre ass organization. They haven't won shit in forever. Since the time I came to the United States. And even before that, they've never won shit. But I have to give credit, again, to Jerry West and Kawhi Leonard. Kawhi Leonard finally brought balance to the NBA. I cannot stress this enough, boys and girls. Kawhi Leonard has made the NBA great again. As much as I hate the Clippers, he has brought balance, fairness, and parity to the NBA again. Yes, there are going to be bottom feeder teams. I can definitely see that, maybe like 2 or 3 teams in each conference. But even then, I think the nature of what every individual franchise has now is optimism. Is that idea of, oh man, because the Warriors are gone and because Toronto won their first ship, you know, there had to be a myriad of circumstances to make that happen. The optimism's there though, and I love it. I love the fact that there is optimism, and you know, my Lakers included. And I keep saying I'm gonna do a season review. I do have to do a season review, talk about the free agency and what all the pieces that the Lakers acquired over free agency. But the reality is, I think every team in the West has a viable chance of going to the championship. I really do believe that. As for the East, I'm just gonna give it real quick fucking spark note comparison here. I believe the top 4 in the East are going to reign supreme for a couple of years. The Bucks at 76ers, the Celtics, also the good gravy. I am forgetting somebody. But those 3 out of the 4, for whatever reason, I can't fucking remember the 4th team. I believe those teams are going to maintain their stronghold in the East. However, you come to the West, I think it's a fucking shit show. I don't know what the hell's going to happen in the West. It's gotten so much stronger. It's gotten so much better. And with the move of Kawhi Leonard, it has finally, boys and girls, the NBA has finally reached parity, something that we've been waiting for so long. And if this brings back more fans in terms of numbers, it's going to be awesome. Good shit. So, boys and girls, tune in for tomorrow's Cruise Peruse. We're going to be talking about more shit. I might be breaking down more NBA free agency stuff because majority of the big sports competitions are done. We got the Major League Baseball All-Star break happening, so not a lot of competition going on. But yeah, we are going to be dissecting some free agency stuff. Maybe focus on some Lakers action more than anybody else because I'm a Lakers fan, boys and girls. But hey, for now, we talk about the dominating U.S. Women's National Squad because, yes, they winners. All they do is win. And the losers of the U.S. Men's National Team. And also free agency, which has created winners in the viewers, a.k.a. the fans, who get to watch a very fair, a parity-filled NBA. Enough of my rambling, boys and girls. That's it for me. So follow me at the Sky Lounge and all the links in the description below. Like, comment, subscribe for more daily contents. Now, fuck off.